Yeah, I think, number one, I think, going into this game with all the anticipation, just I think, just an unbelievable crowd for us today here. Obviously, it spurred us on to play at our absolute maximum in terms of energy and what we did defensively. And then, minus maybe the first 5, 6, 7 minutes of that game, I think we were -6 on the glass or something. They had 5 offensive rebounds early, and to end the game plus 18 there. Obviously, we knew we had to dominate the glass. It's something they struggle with. But the building was awesome. Obviously, the game went as well as it could go for us, and as poorly as it could go for them. I don't think there's a program in the country I got more respect for. It's a privilege to play them. In terms of the excellence of how good they've been, how much they've won, and in the way that they go about things. In terms of culture, obviously, today, we expect to maybe play them a couple more times this year, maybe, and I don't expect these games, to end up like this.
What was Hassan's impact on the game, especially on goal?
Yeah, I just think just having those different looks. I think it's maybe caused some issues for Tyler today. You have a 6. You've got a 6'6" Steph on him at times, who's physical and strong and tall. And then Tristan, obviously 6'5" with length, was also guarding him. And then you bring in a small, pesky, smaller guard that's kind of getting into him and pressuring it a little bit. So you have 3 different types of guard defenders. And then the 2 different types of ball screen defenses too. It's like the high flat with the 7'3" guy, and then the hard hedges with Sampson. I think it was just hard for him to get a rhythm because of those things.
Talk about the energy and offense that Haas brought to the game too.
Oh, Haas this is the best game he's played. He's had some games like this, but he was just. Like last year's team, we had incredible bench play, and that really, allowed us to, to go on runs and separate from people. And I mean, this was the exact player that when we recruited Haas out of the portal, I just thought he would be the perfect Big East guard and junkyard dog and good offensively too.
Dan, how was Donovan able to have such a defensive impact yet not commit a foul?
Yeah, I mean he on some of Iguodala's baskets, he wasn't close enough to foul him. Just some of the stuff that kid does, man, it's so unique. But he showed just tremendous discipline. We've been on his ass. We've been on his butt and about just stop putting us in position where we're having to coach around foul trouble. Both him and Sampson tend to do that to us a lot, and it's a very dangerous thing. And Donovan is one of the most impactful players in the country. We're maybe the best offense and the best defensive team in the country, maybe both ends when he's in the game. So, stay down, don't take shot fakes, wall up. I thought he had tremendous discipline.
Dan, you had two of your starters have poor shooting nights, and yet you win by almost 30 points. Can you just talk about the other guys in the depth and the stepping up?
Yeah, I mean it's I think Kamani and Luke with the way that they recruit and help put together the architecture of the roster where we've got the depth and we've got different pieces that make sense, and when you have 5 starters that can get 20 on any given night, and a Samson Johnson, Sandiara off the bench, that's 7 really strong players. I think Jay Stu's starting to become a factor for us too, and Solo as well. But having depth keeps you vulnerable when a couple guys have a bad game.
Yeah, in the first 10 minutes, it was really intense, and no one could pull away. They were dominating the offensive glass. What flipped from there?
Yeah, I just that first media timeout, man, it was like literally felt like the first round of a heavyweight fight. We were incredibly frustrated because we couldn't grab the ball. They weren't necessarily like offensive rebounds that they were high pointing. They were more just like basketballs that we weren't reacting to. So You know, and credit those guys. They've got one of the best teams in the country, one of the best cultures, and they're hard to beat to any basketball on the court. But, you know, we locked in defensively. We started to take over on the backboard offensively. Anytime you go 24 assists on 29 field goals, and I felt like, you know, like uncharacteristically, we probably missed some really good threes today. So.
Dan,
Go ahead.
Dan, you've talked all season about how good you guys are offensively, but your defense is really starting to ratchet it up right now. How good are you playing on that defensive end?
Yeah, we're playing at a high level. You know, I think even prior to Donovan coming back, I think we were, you know, we were starting to make improvements. We bottomed out, you know, a couple games into Donovan's injury, but with the defense started trending up a couple games before Donovan got back, and then since Donovan's come back and does what he does in terms of rim protection and now he's contesting 3-point shooters on the perimeter too. Yeah, I mean I think this group's got. Yeah, you play elite offense, you play elite defense, and you're a great rebounding team, and you play harder than the opponent. It doesn't give them a lot of places to go.
This group seems to kind of rise to the occasion since really towards the end of last year. What is it about it that they can do that?
Yeah, I mean, we did it all last year. We did it all this season except January. And you guys know how I feel about January. Now I feel, you know, we feel much better about January, but January was just a tough month for us. Part scheduling, you know, part meltdowns. But this is who we've been. You know, I mean, we've only lost the top teams, you know, minus that month of January. I don't know how many times I'm going to say January.
Dan?
what is it, not very many coaches have ever had a stretch like you've had the last calendar year or so. What does that feel like as a coach when it seems like anything or everything that you want to happen is happening?
Yeah, I think what's dangerous about how I think we feel as a program right now is that we take the core. We don't fear losing. You know, just knowing what we dealt with last year, that tough stretch in January. You know, and then going on and doing what we did and dominating the tournament and, you know, winning a national championship, and knowing that we dealt with a lot of adversity. I just don't think, you know, that I'm, you know, as a leader of the program, I think I'm just way more relaxed and confident, and I think that runs through the team. I think I was manic as hell last January when things were going real crappy, and you know, I think that I'm not holding the program back. I'm probably just, you know, handling that balance between like intense and ready to play, but also joyful and excited to play. And but, you know, I'm still learning on the job. I'm going to keep getting better as a coach.
And this puts you kind of in the driver's seat for, you know, Big East regular season, 3.5 game lead with 5 left for you guys to play. How important is that? And also, I don't know if you probably saw or maybe heard, number 2 overall seed today was announced. Any thoughts on that? Does that even matter at this point?
So we're a 2 seed?
Number 2 overall.
Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit. I mean, yeah, listen, we talk about our road to where we want to try to go to internally and to put ourselves in the best possible position, you know, from a seeding standpoint. You know, and all we can control is just like taking a championship approach to the next basketball game. I think it would be real easy for us to come out here and play real tight if the messaging with the team was like, you know, hey guys, you know, this one's basically, you know, gives us a 3-game lead on Marquette if we get it. So we just talked about like championship level approach, mentality, execution, you know, just a mindset here, and treat all these games. We're not going to talk about the standings. I mean, I don't even know who we play next. It's just literally like, Paul, we play Tuesday?
Tuesday night.
Yeah, we play Tuesday. I don't even know who we play, man. So it's just like championship approach, and just there's no reason to talk about that stuff.
It seems like sometimes you talk to coaches and it's the climb is easier than when you get to the top.
Yeah.
How do you, is it, seems like with you guys, the standard never slips. Like, is that the key? Have you felt that it's been harder to keep it than it was for the climb?
I mean, they're both tough, right? I mean, it's to get to where we were based on where we were last year. The work that this staff did. You know, I just think we get like-minded people to come and play here. You know, I think I think we hold out in recruiting and try to just recruit winners and you know, and people that it's never enough for. You know, it's whatever we are right now, 24-2. I can promise you in the lead up to our next game that the way that we're going to work like, you know, like 24-2 is never, 25-2 is never enough. You know, it's just we got people like that. You know, Cam Spencer, Tristan, I mean, we just got people that just, you know, the goalposts are always moving for them, always want more. And then the big benefit too is just the staff I got to be able to keep, you know, to be able to have search firms continue to screw up and not hire Luke and Kamani, and AD screw up, and I just keep holding on to them. Sorry, partner or whatever, or sorry, the search firms. I didn't help myself there, right?
Dan, in the
I don't
month,
think I need to.
speaking,
Yeah.
in the month that Donovan has been back, how have you seen him come along in areas of stamina and as he's gotten his cardio better, as it clearly is it easier for him to play more efficiently?
Yeah, his cardio's gotten so much better. He's healthy. You can see he's moving really well. And you know, again, there's a bunch of other centers that have the numbers are gaudier numbers, but they don't play on a team like ours that is so balanced. And we're kind of we react offensively. Really, we send the ball where the defense tells us to send the ball. So I don't know what he averages a game, but he's one of the most impactful players in the country. There's top 2, top 3 most valuable players in the country. That kid.
Dan, since becoming #1, I think it's been 5 weeks now, how impressed are you with the players that weren't here last year, how they've handled the spotlight with that?
Yeah, I just think Cam, you know, there's really 3 things, you know, like, you know, Haas was in the rotation last year, but, you know, I think later in the year he kind of, you know, fell out a little bit. Samson was hurt, so he didn't get to really experience it as like a guy. You know, and then Cam is you know, everybody in this program values Cam and loves Cam, and you know, we've all experienced everything that we're going through in college this year, but Cam hasn't, and you know, we love our brothers here, and we want Cam to experience, you know, what it's like to be top of food chain in college, playing in the biggest of games, making a run in March, compete for championships. You know, because nobody deserves to play in these types of moments more than Cam with what he's brought to us and just the drive, the passion, the competitiveness, will that he's instilled in this team after losing some junkyard dogs that we had last year with Adama Hawk, Andre. So he's added a lot that way.